Hi, I'm going to run through a few updates regarding the product lifecycle and versions that are coming out of support, and then we'll cover the upcoming changes to Microsoft pricing. To start with, I'd like to start by giving a brief reminder of the Dynamics lifecycle policy changes that occurred a couple of years back. I spoke about this in a bit more detail in the Dynamics changes last year. All lifecycles, whether fixed or modern, start from the start date of the initial release of the version, not the date of any cumulative update releases. With the fixed lifecycle, this finished with the versions 13 and 14 released in October 2018. They provide you with 5 years of maintenance support with functional fixes, bug fixes and security updates during this period. They then have a further 5 years of extended support where they release security updates for the product. With the release of version 15, which was the first true version of SaaS in October 2019, they introduced the modern lifecycle policy. This is a different cycle, as you can see in the picture on the right hand side, where you get 6 months of feature, bug and regulatory updates and a further 12 months of bugs and regulatory updates. Beyond this, the product is considered out of support with Microsoft, so in total you get 18 months support for that product. Obviously, this applies to on-premise versions or versions installed in your own Azure setup in the cloud. It does not apply to SaaS versions as they're constantly updated every month, so you're always on the latest version. Because of the change in lifecycle policy, for the next couple of years there will be at least 2 different versions moving out of mainstream support. In this quarter we have NAV 2017 that moved out of mainstream support on the 11th of January 2022. This means there will be no future bug fixes coming out. It's on extended support until the 11th of January 2027, which means you'll continue to get security updates until this date. Any previous versions to Dynamics NAV 2017 are already out of mainstream support. Business Central 2020 Wave 2, which is version 17, released in October 2020, moves out of support this April. These end of support updates do not relate to you if you're running a SaaS version of Business Central, as you receive updates to your system every month and you're always on the latest version. If you are on one of these versions or an older version, then please talk to us about an upgrade to ensure that you're on an appropriately supported lifecycle. We are also offering our upgrade subscriptions that will ensure that you have an upgrade once a year to keep you within the supported lifecycles of the products going forward. None of this affects the support that you'll get from DC, but could mean that you're not protected against any new security threats and won't get updates for regulatory changes, such as changes to Making Tax Digital functionality. Now I'm going to talk about the price changes. The pricing changes affect all SaaS licenses. This covers, but is not limited to, Dynamics Business Central, Microsoft 365, formerly Office 365, and the Power Platform. This does not affect perpetual licenses where you have purchased the license entirely up front and then pay your BREP on an annual basis. Here's a soothing picture before we move on to the price rises. What is coming is a 20% increase in monthly prices. For Microsoft 365, that is the first price rise in more than 10 years, and for Business Central, it is the first price rise since SaaS licensing was introduced. So this will be a 20% increase on the prices that you're currently paying to Microsoft. This comes into effect on the 10th of March 2022, so a little less than 2 months' time. Here I have a slide with some examples of pricing. These are the prices that we have been sent this month, but these are provisional prices. We're not expecting them to change, but there is the possibility that they might. The BC team member is moving from £6 per month to £7.20. The BC Essentials licence from £52.80 to £63.36, and the BC Premium licence from £75.40 to £90.48. There are also some examples of the Microsoft 365 licensing changes. If there are changes to these provisional prices, we will of course let you know. At the same time, Microsoft are introducing what they've called the new commerce experience. This predominantly affects partners and how they carry out their billing, but does have some impact on you, the customer. There are options to have subscriptions on monthly, yearly or 3-yearly agreements. Previously, you could add and remove licenses at any point. Reductions were charged on a pro rata basis, so you only paid for the time that you used them. Now you can only remove seats at the end of your subscription period, i.e. the end of the month, the end of the yearly cycle, or the end of the 3-yearly cycle. You can add seats at any time, and that will be at the same price as existing seats in that subscription, so the monthly subscription, the yearly or 3-yearly subscription. They will, however, give you a price commitment. If you commit for an extended term of 1 or 3 years, then the price will be fixed for that period. The new price increase only comes into effect on the 10th of March for monthly subscriptions. If you commit to a 1-year or 3-year subscription for Microsoft, it will guarantee the current prices for the length of your subscription. So to clarify, if you commit for 1 or 3 years, you will not incur the 20% price rise during this period. Microsoft are offering a range of billing options. Monthly subscriptions are always billed monthly. Yearly and 3-yearly, they are offering a monthly or annual billing. However, there is a major caveat. Microsoft have introduced new terms for partners. We are now wholly liable for the entire term of the customer subscription. If a customer ceases to trade or cannot pay for whatever reason, the liability for the remainder of the subscription would sit with the partner. Because of this, Dynamics consultants have made the difficult decision that we will offer the yearly and 3-yearly subscriptions, but will insist on payment upfront for the full period of the subscription. We have finance options available that we can offer to allow you to take advantage of the 20% saving for a 1-year term. The finance will be provided at 9% interest per annum plus a £150 admin fee with a £5,000 annual minimum order. If you want to guarantee and fix the prices as they currently are for a 1 or 3-year term, we will need to know and move you across by the 10th of March at the latest. If you require a finance agreement, then we'll need to ensure that we start work on this in a timely manner prior to that date. So please come and talk to us about this. Obviously, if you come to us on the 10th of March, it's unlikely we'll be able to process it in time. We will contact you each in turn if this is applicable to you and have a discussion about how you want to handle this. This screen is a summary of what can be done with each of the subscription lengths. We are still pursuing Microsoft to remove the liability on the partner. If they remove that condition, we will then offer the 1-year and 3-year options as a monthly fee. That is these 2 boxes here that will be affected. It's also worth noting that if you cancel a seat subscription or seat increase within 72 hours of placing it, you will receive a pro rata refund and will only pay for the time that you had those licenses. That is just for cancellations within the 72-hour period. Please be aware that whilst the users are named users, if an employee leaves and is replaced, you can reassign an existing seat to the new user at no extra cost. One other thing to be aware of is that you can combine the different subscription lengths on what is called a hybrid model. If you think you'll need to both increase and decrease your seat numbers during your subscription term, it is recommended that you use a combination to flex your number of seats. We'll walk through an example on the following slide. In this example, there is a Christmas decoration company that retain a core staff of 10 users throughout the year. However, in their busiest period, September to December, they employ an additional 30 members of staff that require access to Business Central. The hybrid model allows them to take out both an annual subscription and a monthly subscription. As you see here, there are 10 essential users on a 1-year subscription. That works out at £6,336 that has to be paid annually. And then the 30 additional essential users are taken out on a monthly subscription. So that's 30 users at the increased price, because of the monthly subscription, of £63.36, meaning an additional £1,900.80 paid monthly just for the months of September to December. You can obviously mix and match. So you can have some on 3 years, some on 1 year and some on monthly. It's just those ones that you might want to decrease, you can put on a monthly subscription, so you can decrease them as and when you need to. We're happy to run through this with you and give you guidance and advice to find the best setup for you. That's the end of this quick presentation. I'm sure it's posed some questions for you. If you have any, put them into the question pane, and if we have time we can discuss them now, or if not, we can give you a call back and discuss them after this webinar.